Halloween, black cats, witches with pointed hats, pumpkins carved in strange expressions, spiders' webs, puppy dogs' tails and snails and... Nah, that's not how I do Halloween. Sorry. I have a very simple recipe which I learned 20 years ago when I was in a town called Kendal in the Lake District of England. It was October the 31st, Halloween. I'd been to an exhibition at the library on Halloween and how it got started. Halloween is the Christian version of a very, very ancient ceremony which is known as either Samhain or Samhain. So we're looking at a pagan festival, and it takes place when apparently the veil between this world and the other world is very, very thin. So that invites all the spirits of the dead and the past. But what captured my attention was one sentence which said that Samhain, or Samhain, was a festival in which we thanked our teachers. So I thought, hey, that's a really good thing to do, thank my teachers. Well, that's a simple enough task, isn't it? That won't take very long. And I went up the hill and there was this ruined 12th century castle, moonlight, darkness. And I thought, I'll make my own little ceremony. So I walked around this castle clockwise, and then I thought, no, let's do it anti-clockwise. So I went this way around, and I started thanking my teachers. Well, of course, it was my mum, there was my dad, there was my sister, there were the teachers at kindergarten. 2.5 hours later, I was still walking around that castle, talking to myself. No one else around, so it didn't matter. 2.5 hours to thank my teachers. How come? Because I realized 20 years ago that my teachers were pretty much every single person I'd ever had contact with. Might have been just a few minutes, might have been hours, days, weeks, years. They were all my teachers. Even the ones that didn't like me, didn't treat me well, didn't treat me the way I should have been treated, I thought. The ones I was nasty to, the ones I ignored, they all taught me something. Endurance, false pride, intelligence, fortitude, imagination. They may have said something to me which at the time didn't mean anything, but as you walk round and around and around, it all comes back. So every Halloween, I thank my teachers. They may not be the same ones each time, and of course there's always new ones coming in, because inevitably you're going to be taught by everyone that you meet. And of course they don't necessarily have to be human, do they? They could be animal, vegetable, mineral. Wonderful sights that you've seen in your life that suddenly took you out of yourself into another realm, into the universal classroom that we all belong to and all should have access to. And Halloween really is as good a time as any to give thanks. So not only is it Halloween or Samhain, it's also Thanksgiving.